Hello to you guys, welcome back at Tuning Dutchy. Before we kick off, make sure you subscribe and like this video. Now, of course, you guys might have already noticed in the previous video that I was sick because I got the first injection of corona vaccination. And yeah, I'm alive. I'm way better now, so that's good. Anyways, I got an update for you guys, and that's the following. I worked on my side pipe again on a DU Matisse, and I have heard and seen that whenever I actually bigger the distance from the resonator until the side exhaust tip, it's way better sounding at higher RPMs, and somehow like that sound when the engine brake is actually engaged, it's gonna a little bit go away. So before I have this one, which I'm gonna explain soon, I had these side tips. Just give me a second and I'm gonna show you guys that. Alright, there we are again. Now, as said, I changed something. So this one was actually on the side exhaust tip, as you guys can see now, okay? I mean, it's a little bit scratched, a little bit messy, but I mean, it's no problem, right? It's a car, doesn't need to be nice. But this one was actually on it before. Now, in the previous time, in this weekend, I changed something. As you see, it's laying here, so it's not on my car anymore. But what I have done is very interesting. Now, somehow my car's actually exhaust diameter is just only this. It's just 35 millimeters, which is probably 1.5 inch max. And I put it the Dodge Challenger exhaust tip on it, which is way bigger. So that was a big challenge anyway. Just give me 1 second. Now, because that was bigger, it was a huge deal to get it on. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly why it was that a big deal. Now, this actually just have to be a little bit closer, like it should be, like this. Now, my exhaust clamp, I could actually fit it right in here. So you only have this little piece, what's well, yeah, closed. So I had a lot of, I didn't have a lot of clearance, so that's good for a very small pipe. Now, the Dodge Challenger side pipe instead has this one closed. So it's completely round, just like this. So I couldn't smash it together, you know? So that's a way, and also it was way bigger. So that's a very huge deal. Now, to make it fit, I had to do a lot of changements. I was using the bench to re-bend everything. I took a lot of screws. I was actually using machinery to smaller the size of pipes. It wouldn't actually all work. So, but finally I got it on there, and I have to say, since the length of from the resonator until the side pipe exhaust tip, it's way better because the length is more. Now, the more the length is, the further away the exhaust tip actually is from the resonator, so you don't get the sound when the engine brake is engaged. I like that. Also, which I really like, now this one, as you guys know, was on a very short range. It was also almost in the middle of the car. And what I have currently is almost at the back of the car. That means longer distance because I need more pipes to connect it. So that being said, also on higher RPMs, which the middle, the resonator is for to get that rid of. Also on higher RPMs, I get a much better sound. So I really like that. So that's actually first thing. You guys won't believe what I'm gonna tell you now. Only for fitting the side exhaust tip, just this, but then for the Dodge Challenger one, which is actually the same size, I took 8 hours. Yeah, it took me 8 hours to get that on. How, you would ask? Well, the diameter was pretty big, and as already told, this one has some play in for the exhaust clamps. Really good thought. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful sound, and also it looks way nicer. Now I tried that already before to fit the Dutch Challenger side pipe exhaust on it. Just a little preview to see how does it look. Is it small enough that I won't get bumped on the road or something? Because we have some, yeah, how do you call it? Sort of bumps on the road. That means to slow down people that they will not go full send, you know? So that's why they have done that. But luckily, I don't hit the exhaust on the road because it's way smaller, but rectangle. Very unique, but very nice. I have to say, even if it's in a very small car, it does look very, very great. And it sounds very good. However, with this one, compared to the Dodge Challenger side pipe exhaust tip, this one, if it's making higher RPMs, you have more V12 sound. I don't know why, but it's kind of the truth. I think because it was shorter, and whenever you hold the throttle on some position, it has very good sound. I think it's because it was closed. Now, the most important thing, what you guys are actually here for, is probably what's going to happen next to the car. It's very easy. Because I had to do a lot of piping work, rebending everything, a lot of exhaust clamps, refitting the exhaust tip again. That means that I have to get some 90-degree 35mm RVS pipes. I have to connect them all together, like it should be. Not right now that I have this much play in the pipe itself, so the exhaust can go out like that. No, we are gonna fit it correctly and how it must be done. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find 35mm, somehow like 42, 43, maybe even 45 if that's existing. And so I can get a little bit bigger, so I have more choice lately. Also on the side pipe exhaust tip, it's gonna fit better. So that's actually where my target is. Most difficult thing is gonna be how the exhaust tip is coming. Now, I know that I have currently just a little bit fabrication because this is just temporarily. I don't have the 35mm 90-degree angles, so I have to order them. No problem at all, I'm gonna do that. But I have to wait, of course, before the order comes in, when I want to go make another video again. Of course, when I'm installing it, I try to make a video from that. I'm not 100% sure, since I don't do that here in the streets, of course. It's not as loud, but as you guys know, I'm a little bit nervous when people are looking at me. They're already looking at me if I start the car up, because it's gonna make a hella of noise. So that's gonna be at my dad's house in the pit. Now, in the pit, I don't have anything like a tripod or something where I can stand my, well, phone on. Now I have two different phones, which I can use for multiple angles. That's obviously a good thing. But this one has 4K quality and my other phone has only 2K. So I leave it by 4K 60 FPS, like it is now. Anyways, so that's actually number one. So I'm gonna order these 90-degree angle 35mm up to maybe a little bit like 45mm angles. And hopefully I can connect it very good. Also, I'm gonna use some exhaust cement. So that means that it's gas closed, which is very, very neat here in the Netherlands. If I don't do that, you will not pass the test. Now, luckily, I have seen something when I was taking this one off. Of course, this was open. I mean, this is never gonna be 1 inch or 1.5. You guys know that, right? I mean, by seeing it. This is already 50, 60 millimeters. So no, it's never 35mm. So, but that's not a problem. That does not have to be closed. But the rest of the piping has to be closed. It was. But when I took that one off, it was only closed at one side. On one other side, where I also put it in exhaust clamp, it was getting probably too hot, or maybe even it gets a bump from the street where the exhaust cement actually was taking off. So it was leaking. That doesn't mean that I have performance issues, but if I had to pass a test on that time, I would definitely fail. So luckily, yeah, I passed it. So, but anyways, that's actually what you guys can expect in the oncoming video. Me installing the 90-degree angles with 35 millimeters up to a bigger size. Hopefully it's possible, because it's a big deal to do that. Because 35 millimeters is not something you can get a lot here in the Netherlands. Also on the complete net. It's better to take a bigger size, so you have more options whenever you are going to use an inducer, or if you're going to use a reducer if you have a smaller one, which you think is going to sound nicer. Another exhaust tip sounds always different. It's just the truth. Now, when that's done, when the side pipe is completely done, I'm gonna recheck it after that, and if I see that everything is gonna be completely closed, I'm gonna go with a little bit visual inspection. Now, what I mean by that is what I already told several videos ago. Spoiler, tinted windows, rims, tires, and everything what you can call with optical, so visual. Now, of course, I still have to get that cluster gouge pot with 3 of them, with an oil pressure gauge, my RPM gauge in it, and all that kind of stuff. So lots have to go on actually on this channel. And believe me, it's not gonna be quiet over here. Definitely not. Now, because I was sick, of course, I couldn't make a video, and I'm gonna explain you guys what I have done, trying to avoid it. Now, as said, of course, I was sick and I couldn't make a video. I was feeling really, really ill. If you guys already have seen that video. If not, just go and check it out. You will hear that I have a very weak and softened voice, which is good, but not if I want to work on my car. Now, in the meantime, when I was feeling a little bit better, just on a little bit better side, I was still trying to make a drive POV second with a pretty different angle. It was failing because my camera holder, which is on the windshield, back windshield in this case, that's going to be actually one of the next videos which you guys can expect. It was falling off. So that means, of course, when it's falling off and I am on the highway, that's not very nice. And then the video, of course, has to be redone or quitted or whatever. So I didn't succeed with that, less likely. However, I didn't already feel that good, so I just left that be. But that's why I'm doing this little update video. I know I already did one on Friday or Saturday, but then again, I mean, this is actually what you guys can expect in the next video. So if you are gonna like that, and if you think, hey, that sounds good, I wanna watch that, make sure you smash that subscribe button, guys. And don't forget to give it a like, alright? And let's see if we can make the exhaust permanently very nice. So people, that was it. That was a large video, lots of explanation, but definitely worth it. Now, this was Tuning Dutchy, and I hope I see you guys in the next video. See you guys then.